how do we start vlogs on this channel?
Maybe I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all over and go for it. 'Cause they don't even know me yet. But that's something I don't regret. Every night I close my eyes and see only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million things are running through? Million things I can't undo. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I got. What can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up. Tell me that you can see what I see, feeling wrapped up in the warmth of Sunday memories. But I don't even know what's next. But all I know is step by step. But then again, I don't wanna wait for bliss when all I really need is only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million?
Hi friends, and welcome to another video. Today is the start of a vlog, which is exciting because I don't think I've done a vlog on my channel in over a year. I have a hair stuck to my lip balm. Okay. Yeah, like I don't think I've done a vlog in over a year. And like the reason is I just don't live an aesthetically pleasing life. And I found vlogs really hard because they never quite looked the way that I wanted them to. And I always just felt like I was jumping back and forth just to talk about books, which will be in this video. But now I feel like I have a better, well balanced kind of vlog idea. So if you don't know, I got into cross stitch in like June last year. Was it the year before? June 2022, I think. And about 3 weeks ago, I got into crochet. So not only do I have books to talk about, I now have crafts to talk about. So I thought, let's spend a week. Let's spend like a week talking about the books that I read, the crochet I'm crocheting, and the cross stitch I'm cross stitching, and see how that goes over. I don't know how this video is going to go. It's currently Tuesday, so we're like one day into the week. I'll probably run this till like Friday or Saturday morning, and then it'll be posted next week. So it will be like a week late, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll vibe. We'll figure it out. And I'd really like you to let me know if you enjoy this kind of content down in the comments, um, because I don't know how I get on with vlogs. Anyways, let's get into the things that I will be doing this week. Firstly, we have my crochet. Now, I wanted to make a top, and I'm dubbing this my summer collection, which I've been creating. I have no chill. I have no chill. I've been crocheting for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden I'm like, I want a top, I want a dress, I want a shawl, I want a summer collection of crochet clothes. So this is what we've got going on here, and this is the ribbon. I wonder if I just throw this in my pocket. There we go. This is the ribbon. So this will go like here. I'm hoping you could see this on the camera. So I think that I need probably to double this because this needs to fit around like my whole my whole body at the bottom. So yeah, I think like double what I have here is probably a good idea. I think I have about 106 rows so far. So I'll probably work it up to like I'll keep checking every time I add or like a good amount of rows, I'll keep checking, holding it up against my body. Once I feel like I've got a good amount, I'll stitch marker it and, actually see if it's comfortable. I would rather, like, I know that this fabric has a good amount of stretch to it, so I would rather have it just that wee bit, like, I would say tight, but like, I have a fairly big bust, so I don't know if going tight would lend well because I'm thinking if I go a little bit looser, then I could probably wear whatever bra I want. Whereas if I go a bit tight, I'll probably be limited to the bra that I measure with. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. This is a process, and I'm new, so I'm just learning things. I have now moved my stitch marker to the top, so I will just come back in and tell you how many rows I add to this throughout the week. Hopefully, we can get the rows done of the ribbon um, this week, and that will be my goal for this because I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. I'm using this. Oh, I put a sticker on it to keep it together. It's Caron or Caron. Karen. I don't think it's Karen. It's Caron yarn, and this is the Iran worsted weight. Um, it calls for a 5.5 hook. I'm using a 5 hook because I want my stitches to be fairly like squished. I don't really want. That's my dog snoring in the background. I don't really want my, once I get onto the chest portion of this, I don't really want it to be see through. I want it to be able to like cover up most of my bra line. And then when we get to the sleeves, so the idea is that this would be ribbed at the bottom and then have like a half double crochet on the like the bust. I'm gonna scrunch it and tie it here, and then I'm gonna have sleeves that do like in like a normal line, then an increase, then a decrease, and then I'm gonna stretch it out into a lace sleeve, and then bell the bottoms of the sleeve with increases, and then single crochet all my edges. I'm new. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try it though because I want a summer collection of clothes. Okay. Next year we have a book that is not useful because I don't have the dust jacket on. I don't read my books with dust jackets on because it just ruins them. So this is Crimson Moth, and I will pop a picture on the screen. I do not know how to say this author's last name, so Kristen. I really want to say Cicerelli, but I know that it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. I will figure this out eventually. So this is what I'm reading physically, and in this we follow Rune, who is a witch, and Gideon, who's a witch hunter. And in this world, witches were outlawed. So the witch queens were murdered, and everybody that was a witch or a witch sympathizer got put to death. And they were promised a certain life. They were promised freedom. They were promised wealth and better living conditions under this new regimen, but that didn't happen. So Rune has been saving witches. By day, she is like Rune, the socialite, superficial, doesn't have a thought in her head, like one of those tropes where there's more depth to the character than what you see. Because at night, she's the Crimson Moth, where she goes out rescuing witches. I am loving this. I think. Where am I? I'm not that far. I think 35, chapter 35, yeah. So I'm like 442 pages into this. I don't have long left. I really love Rune as a character. I think she's pretty fucking cool. I also like her friend group because you have Alex, who is Gideon's younger brother, and then you have Verity, which is her best friend, and her sister were witches, so she knows a lot about witches, and the characters are well written. The world is well written because even though it doesn't seem high stakes, it is quite high stakes. And I really like the magic system in here. Like when you are a witch, you have to use your blood in order to cast spells. But when you cut yourself and take the blood in order to cast a spell, the scar turns silver, so you're easily identifiable as a witch. And that was something that I haven't really read before, so I was quite like interested in that. I will say that this is marketed as YA, but I don't know. Like I'm so bad with age ratings because I was reading stuff I shouldn't be reading when I was a kid. I think I read Penelope Douglas when I was 16. So I'm really bad with age ratings, and I'm not sure if this would fall on the YA side of things because there is a lot of talk about, sexual relationships, and there's like a skinny dipping scene as well. Um, there's also a lot of talk of murder, and like the thing is Gideon Gideon was friends with one of the witch queens. Um, Now he's against all witches because he was a thrall to one of them, kind of like the way Rhysand was to Amadra in Akatar. Um, but like worse, I guess, because not only was he being in her bed, like she was torturing his parents and his little sister. So like he had to watch that every day and obey, or else he knew that his family would take the brunt of it. So like I don't know if this like it would definitely be on the higher end of YA, I believe. Maybe edging into any, which I kind of like because I want the second book to go any, so we could potentially get a little bit more. But I'm not going to be mad about it because the YA in this is reading very higher YA, and the story is great. The magic system's great. I'm vibing, and I'm really enjoying it. So I will come back and tell you what I think of this. I'd like to have this done by Thursday because Powerful and Private Girls by Penelope Douglas come out on the 11th and the 12th. So I want to kind of clear my docs of all my reading so that I can pick those up as soon as they come. Sorry, I just got distracted because my mic is flashing at me and I don't know if that means it's going to die. So I'm going to speed through this in case it is. Okay, please don't die on me, microphone, please. I'm almost there. So the next thing I would like to get done is this cross stitch. I will put the information on screen. This is Staghead. This is a gift that I want to get done for my great aunt for Christmas. I'm meant to be putting in 1,500 stitches a month. I haven't been doing that. So I would really like to get a good amount of progress in this week. So I think that is about it. I'm listening to another book on audio called Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier, but I'm really scared that my microphone's gonna die, so I'm gonna cut this portion short and charge my microphone. I probably won't come back to update today. It'll probably be mornings before I get ready for work so that everything I do during the day and the night will just get updated in the morning. So I'll come back tomorrow and I'll tell you like where I am on all these projects, and also probably speak about Little Secrets since I didn't get to speak about it right now because my microphone is hating me. Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm testing my luck here and I will be back.
Don't wanna wake up.
I have messed up because I'm meant to have 36 rows along this part, and I'm only counting 35. And if you look at this side here, you can see like that dip right here. Like this side's nice and straight, and then that side has like a dip right here. I think I've dropped a stitch or two here. So I did manage to get 13 extra rows before having to get ready for work. But I'm now going to have to take them all out because, oh, that's stuck. Well done, well done. What's going on? Yeah, I'm going to have to take them all out because they're wrong, and I don't even know how much rows that is to get down to that part, but I feel like it's obvious that it's that part that's the issue. So the 13 rows that I done this morning were all for nothing because I can't keep them in. I can't, I can't continue on when I have the wrong numbers. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to that part. I'm going to count the stitches. Why is this so tangled? It's also really raining outside, and I'm not looking forward to going into work with it raining like that, but needs must, needs must. So yeah, I'm gonna take this all out, and I keep snagging on, like, maybe my stitches just aren't neat enough. Because I am new, so like I am new to this, so like counting errors and not neat stitches, that's so much that I'm gonna have to unwind. Are kind of expected at this point. But I'm so annoyed that I didn't catch this sooner, because if I caught it sooner, then I wouldn't be wasting my time unraveling so much rows. Oh god. I'm so sad. I'm so not happy with myself. Okay, I'm gonna unravel this until I get back to the 36 stitches, and then hopefully, and then I'll tell you, like, I'll show you and tell you how many rows I have at that point, and then anything I add on from that point um is my progress for this video. I'm so silly. Ugh.
Never believed you, never believed you could hurt me. So naive, lingering on, repeating the past. I never asked for this, I can't resist. I wonder why I ever miss. Tell me, is it too late, too late?
I feel really stupid because I just filmed this clip with my microphone off, so I have to film it again, and I have 50 minutes until I need to leave for work. So let's run through this again, shall we? The first thing I have to show you, which in my last clip you will have seen that I messed up so bad on my crochet. Well, it was actually worse than what I thought it was. So I had to frog all the way down until I had this much left. I'm going to move back so that I could potentially show you side by side what I had at the start of this video and what I have now. This is it. This is all I've got left. I had to frog all the way down to this stitch marker here, which is fine. It's fine. What we have learned from this process is that I should be counting my stitches more often. So now after every 2 rows, I'm counting to make sure I have 36 stitches, because I would rather frog 2 rows than the 66 rows that I just frogged. Also, I now have this very professional looking sandwich bag of yarn barf. This is everything that I had to frog. and I don't know how to make it like any neater because there is a lot of yarn in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work this up again until I reach a point where the yarn starts tangling, and then I'll figure out what to do with the yarn. Hopefully, I'll be able to get like a decent amount of the way through this bag of yarn before I have to figure out how to untangle the yarn. So we learned a valuable lesson in a really shitty way, but we're fine. We're fine. We learned a lesson at the very least. Then I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier because I didn't get to speak about this in my first update because my microphone was going to die. I've just had issues with my microphone doing this vlog. So, in Little Secrets, we follow Marin, who is a very successful woman. Her and her husband are both successful. He drives a Maserati. She is cutting Jennifer Aniston's hair. Like, they're living the life, you know? But one day she is shopping, lets go of her little boy's hand, and he disappears. We jump to a year later. The cases went cold. Marin hires a private investigator, and the private investigator finds out that her husband Derek is having an affair. So this is where the story takes off from. I'm loving this. I picked this up on a whim. I have read Jennifer Hillier before, so it was like a calculated decision because I want to read more of this author. And I have been ratings this year have been a struggle because I have been like more tough with my ratings, I suppose would be fair to say. I'm struggling to find 5 stars, and I think it's just because I'm starting to know myself more as a reader and I'm looking for specific things in my book now, like when I read. So I've been finding it hard to give 5 stars, but this is reading like a 5 star thriller, which is hard to find when you read as much thrillers as I do. But I'm really enjoying this. There's like it's told in third person, but there's like a narrative shift halfway through. Like you're following Marin and her life, and then you start following Mackenzie, which is the 24-year-old Derek is having an affair with. And it's just like these different lifestyles. You know, Marin is financially secure, owns a business, you know, she has a son, obviously the grief of missing her son. That's my dog. Hi, Coco. And we're back. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so you follow them in very different ways because Marin is obviously in grief of losing her son, and now grief that her husband's having an affair. And then Mackenzie is a 24-year-old art student who is struggling financially. Like, it's just different worlds. And I think the like following Marin for part of the book and then following Mackenzie really like makes the distinction. It was really nice to see. I also love how dramatic this book is. Like, there is going overboard, and then there's this book. Like, crazy. I'm loving it. And I have like 3 hours left of the audiobook. So I should be able to finish that on my travels and at work today. Um, just in and out around the day. So I'm hoping that I have this finished by tomorrow so I can come back and tell you my full thoughts on it. But yeah, like I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad I picked it up. I really wanted to listen to it last night when I came home, but I decided to leave the last 3 hours I have left for today so that I had something to fill my day out. Um, we're halfway through the week, so that's decent. I'm this close to my weekend, and I can feel it. Yeah, so that is Little Secrets, and I have here Crimson Moth, which I still don't have the dust jacket on, but I am 380 pages of the way through, so I think I read quite a bit yesterday of this. I actually read more of this than I thought because I think I was on 242 yesterday. So I actually read a fair bit of this yesterday, and I am now firmly in the third act, vibing with this, absolutely vibing with this. There's a few things that make me think that this book should have been marketed as new adult instead of YA. Maybe YA's just gotten a lot more mature than what I remember it being, but I think this was mismarketed as YA, and I would be very interested to know that if you've read this book, if you agree with me or not, and if like either way, let me know in the comments because I don't know if it's just me or if it is this book. But this book has me thinking quite a lot of things. Like, not only would my teenage self have loved this book, I've always had a thing for witches, and the way the magic system is in this, and the way that it's surrounded by like a opulent society of balls and stuff is like my cup of tea. So like my teenage self is living for this book, while also because I feel like it's got NA parts in it, my like older, like young adult self is also vibing with this. I think it's bringing up a lot of questions. Like, Rune plays the shallow socialite during the day so that she's not discovered as the Crimson Moth. And I just think that, like, being into fashion and balls and parties doesn't make you shallow. Like, if that's part of your personality, then that's part of your personality. You're not shallow because of it. You like what you like. And you're not hurting anyone. So I'm not a fan of the whole, she's shallow and stupid because she likes fashion and balls, because that doesn't one doesn't equal the other. So that's a little bit like, could have touched on that a bit differently. I am, however, digging the romance situation that's going on. Trying not to give spoilers. If I do give spoilers in like any of my videos, I always mark it on screen or tell you. So, like, I'm trying not to give spoilers. Maybe when I come back after I finish this, I will touch on some spoilers. Maybe. But either way, I'm vibing with this. So I have like, what did I say? Mm, Probably about half an hour before I actually have to start getting ready for work. And I have like 24 pages left. So I'm hoping that I can go finish this before I leave for work. And then that means I'll have this done today and Little Secrets done today, which would feel really nice. I'm hoping that I can also come in tomorrow and tell you some cross stitch project progress, not project, because I misplaced the charger to my Kindle that I have Pattern Keeper on. I've now found it. My Kindle is fully charged. So tonight, when I come home from work, I'm hoping to get some cross stitching. So I'll be able to show you what I achieve on that front. But I'm going to go read this until I have to leave for work and hopefully finish it. And I will come back and let you know all of my progress for all of my things tomorrow morning.
It goes to show you can't replace the thing you broke.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to the final clip of this vlog. I'm going to get right into some of my thoughts here because I have quite a lot. We've totally came full circle because I am in the same hoodie that I started this vlog in. I own three of these, and when I'm in the house, I'm pretty much always in one of these. They're so comfortable, and I am a warm bug and like to be in them. Also, they just make me feel like I'm being hugged. So, that's always a bonus. I am going to get right into some of my thoughts here for Crimson Moth. I did manage to finish this yesterday, and I think I settled on a 4.75 rating because I loved this. This was a really good book, and as I said in the previous clip, my teenage self would have killed for a book like this. I have been obsessed with witches for as long as I can remember. I'm a Charmed kid, so like I grew up Charmed. I grew up with my sister watching Buffy, and then when I grew older, I started watching, the Vampire Diaries and stuff. So I've always been a paranormal girly, and this just gave me what I wish I had when I was younger. So I really loved it for that aspect. Also, it was well written, the plot, the pacing was all well done. Even the third act, which, when you have a lot going down in the third act, can be quite, it can feel rushed, or it can feel like you're getting a lot of things in like such a small succession of time. I feel like the build up in this book done it really well, where it was like slowly, gradually build into the third act. The reason I didn't give it a full 5 stars is because, oh, sorry, puppy, is because I didn't like the judgmental overtones of, you're shallow if you like fashion and balls and parties and socializing. I didn't like, I think it could have been done without the judgmental overtone. And it just kept playing on my head the more that I read and the more that, Rune was getting put down for liking the things that she liked. And even though she was playing a part, part of her still enjoyed those things. So it just felt really judgmental and I couldn't let it go. That was the only thing that I really had a pick with about this book. And normally, like before when I was rating books, I wouldn't let something this little, get to me if I felt like it was a 5 star. But I'm trying to be more accurate and succinct with what I think about books. And like little things like this would stop books being a full 5 star unless they're a total vibe, which this was a total vibe, but I just couldn't overlook that one thing that annoyed me. So that is Crimson Moth. I gave it a 4.75 rating. It is good. I am excited to continue on in the duology. So that is my thoughts on Crimson Moth. I really enjoyed this book and I thought, I can't wait for the sequel, but the sequel's not out till next year, so I have a while to wait, unfortunately. This is why I struggle to pick up the start of series when they're released because I just hate waiting for series. But I'm gonna have to do it with this one, and I'm okay with that. Next, we're going to talk about some cross stitch. I did actually manage to get some stitches in last night, and I will put a before and after on screen so you can see where I was when I started this video. I added 193 stitches to this project, and it's looking so cute. I would have liked to get more in, but any stitches is better than no stitches, and I have a deadline for this project, so I should be stitching on it more often. But I got, obsessed with crochet, so my cross stitching's kind of fell to the side. So I'm just trying to like find a system where I can touch my crochet whips, my cross stitch whips, and still read. So yeah, I'm really loving this. It's turning out super cute. I would like to get more stitches on this. I think I'm gonna keep this as my weekend project, and hopefully I can get some more progress onto this over the weekend. The other book that I finished was Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. I love this. I immediately wanted to give this a 5 stars. I listened to this on audiobook, so I think the audiobook kind of, you know, upped my enjoyment of this book. So I think this book would actually be, closer to a 4, a 4.25. Um, but the audiobook had me like second guessing everything, and this is why I struggle with audiobooks because a good narrator, a good pacing, a good voice can change your experience with a book. So sometimes I feel like when I'm rating audiobooks, I'm not only just rating the story, I'm rating the performance, and I find that hard to put together in my head. I feel like the audiobook of this was a 5 stars, but I feel like if I read this physically, it would be closer to a 4, a 4.25. So I have this dilemma where I'm like, what? How do I rate this book? This thriller had me, I was bamboozled from the start of this thriller. No, like, I had no thoughts. And I think it's because I listened to it in audio. When I read something physically, I am very much like a detective and I'm like, oh, that's a red herring. I know where this is going. That's a clue. Whereas on audio, my mind kind of goes into autopilot and doesn't put two and two together. And I think that's why this audiobook and this book didn't quite, like, I think that's why it bamboozled me. Whereas if I read this physically, I don't know if it would have done the same. So what I have came to the conclusion of is I'm going to give this a 4.5 because once I had finished the audiobook, I wanted to give it a 5, but then I feel like if I read this physically, it would be closer to a 4. So I'm just going to meet in the middle and call this a 4.5. This was fast, fun, entertaining. I did have a couple of issues with the ending. I wanted more from the, like, obviously her son went missing and I wanted more from that storyline. I'm really hoping that people can't see me as I do this. Um yeah, I just wanted more from that storyline. I felt like it kind of got lost in the middle. But even like main storyline that we get in this was really good, and I was really impressed with the writing of this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 4.5. I would highly recommend the audiobook if you could get your hands on it, which is rare for me because I don't often do audio. But this was a vibe, and I'm glad that I picked this up. And it's made my work week go a lot smoother. Although when I was in work yesterday and it got to the third act, I gasped audibly out loud as I was passing one of my colleagues, and they were like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it got really good, just don't mind me." So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I'm glad I picked it up, and I will be picking up more Jennifer Hillier in the future. Finally, we have the the crochet, the crochet. Um, so I have worked up more rows. So this is where the stitch marker is where we had to frog to, and from that point towards this end is where um, we have gotten up to. I still feel like it feels like it's getting thinner, but I have been counting. I have been counting my stitches every second row, and I know that I have 36 because as I was stitching this morning, I counted and I only had 35, so I actually had to frog a row in order to get back to 36. So I know that I have 36 stitches. I'm just wondering if like this end's been pulled a little bit more than this end. My stitches are maybe tighter. How much rows have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 71 stitches in this now. So I'm I had 106 rows when I started this video, and now I'm down to 71 rows because we had to frog and then rework. But it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna get there eventually. This is, one of my first crochet projects. I'm new, and we're just on a learning curve with this. But I will be continuing to crochet this. So if you're interested to see more of my crochet and my cross stitch and my reading, let me know how you feel about these vlog videos. Like, it's probably not something I would do all the time just because I feel like it's a lot of work doing vlogs, and the lovely people on YouTube make it look so easy. Um but like maybe like once a month I can take you along on a vlog and show you what I'm cross stitching, what I'm crocheting, what I'm, reading, and just, spend some time with me, I guess. So let me know in the comments if you like these videos. Let me know if you like this video, if you would like to see more of these. And I hope you really did enjoy this. I'm gonna go. It is Thursday. I have 2 more days left of work. Then I have a weekend. I'm going for a boozy brunch on Saturday for the Grand National, which I'm really excited about. So I have a really nice weekend ahead. I'm gonna have a boozy brunch. I'm gonna crochet. I'm gonna hopefully cross stitch more on Staghead. I was really hoping that my copy of Powerful came before I left for work, but I think it's gonna come after I leave. And I hope Amazon have put it in a small package so that they can fit it through the letterbox. So I will be coming home and starting Powerful tonight, which I am so excited for. That's probably going to be most of my night. I did start the Percy Jackson TV show last night, and so I will probably watch some of that when I come in, not gonna lie. I'll probably watch some of that, crochet for a bit, and then settle down to read Powerful. But yeah, I have so much fun things planned for this weekend. I get to, go out and enjoy myself and socialize while also having a day where I just do all my hobbies and vibe out. So I'm really looking forward to the weekend. I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great weekend, whenever the hell you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.